Hi guys, we're going to be demolding some molds today for the Bantam Cockatrice chicks, which are going to be the Patreon reward for May. We've got our molds here made of cardboard and hot glue, and I use Platinum Cure silicone. This happens to be Moldstar's T20. And I'm going to be using an X-Acto knife and my old jewelry pliers here to demold them. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is pop the molds off of their bases. This is why I like to use a presswood base, because it makes it more sturdy. And then it's easier to pop the molds off. Cool. And then usually I'll just come in here and scrape up the little bits of clay so we can melt that down and reuse it. And this is the monster clay that I use to sculpt all of the creatures. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and open up the mold boxes, pull off the cardboard. I reused this cardboard about 3 times, so it's pretty done at this point. Pull that off. And then this stuff's called flash, the little wispy bits that get left over after the mold is made. This is all my monster clay that I used for the base. Peel that back, you can see where I've gated it. And these gates are made out of coffee stirrers. So I'm just going to go in with my jewelry pliers, remove all the gates. You can technically do this with your fingers, but it takes forever. So just in the name of time, I'd rather do it that way. So here's the tops of my cockatrice feet. This is a junk mold, which is when you do a rough mold before you make the production mold. And I do junk molds off my monster clay, and I'll use these for a couple of pulls, and then I will take those resin ones, clean them up, and make a 2-part mold, and that's actually going to be the production mold. But right now, since this is a junk mold, we're just going to do a nice butterfly cut to open it. So we're going to go right here, down, open that up the back way here, just like that. And then because of the way that these feet are, I'm going to need to go forward here in order to cut deep enough to pull the foot out. You can see now the mold opens, and I can remove the foot that was in there. Unfortunately, the monster clay has a tendency to come apart in the mold, so we just kind of need to get in here and remove toenails that are still kind of sticking in there. When this is all resin, it'll all come out smoothly as one nice piece, but unfortunately the monster clay doesn't hold together as well as the resin does, so it leaves a little bit behind. Alrighty, it's looking pretty good. Got some toenails in there, so I'm just gonna go in through the mold and pop those out. Use this. Pop. Pop. There we go. Success. Cleaning out your mold is very important. Don't use water for this step, because if there's any moisture left in the mold from cleaning it out when you decide to put the resin in, water makes the resin not cure. So you're going to end up with really nasty resin that might completely destroy your mold. So I always recommend that people just avoid using water to wash out their molds. Personally, when I do a junk mold, the first pour that I do in it is usually enough to, it kind of cleans out the mold, and the resin will actually remove any little bits of monster clay that are in there, as long as they're not too big. So that's kind of what I recommend as far as getting the last little bits out goes. got a couple toenails, gonna pop those guys out. There you go. Bam. All right, foot mold's ready to go. I totally forgot the bag of rubber bands, but normally I would rubber band these, and I guess you'll just see them rubber banded in the finished molding video. So. All right, this cardboard is thrashed. You can see sometimes if you use the cardboard, the silicone gets in there real good. There we go. Cool. And this is just a one-part mold, so I actually don't even need to butterfly this guy because this is my faceplate. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove the two gates, just like that, and then I should be able to pop out the head all in one piece. And that's how I'm going to actually remove the mold for this guy too when I cast the pieces. It's going to be a little baby cockatrice. Little bantam. All right, guys. So that was kind of a brief demolding how-to. If you know how to make a two-part mold, that's usually best for production because you're going to get just a longer life out of a two-part than a butterfly mold like this, because this will start to degrade as you do more pulls out of it. But this is the quickest way to get resin pieces to make your master molds out of. So this is a really quick and easy junk mold. Yeah, and then we're going to go ahead and do a little casting video too, just kind of showing you how we do our junk mold cast. So I hope that was interesting, and see you guys in a bit.